Hi everyone, so this is part 2 of the video about the blades. So I did find the hard blade. Remember last video that I said I didn't have one, but I actually had one. So let me show you before we start. This is the flex. This is the hard. See, that doesn't bend at all. Okay, so if you're a beginner, do not buy this one. Use the flex. Why? Because when you're a beginner, you're not sure how much pressure you should put on your hands. So by using this one, the one that's hard, you can put too much pressure, you can go too deep, you can make a deeper cut. Do you know what happens when you make a deeper cut? What happens is that you damage that skin. And by damaging that skin, that pigment will turn darker. So let's say you put a nice brown there, but when you went in a certain spot, you made it too deep. So after the 30 days, when your client come back for the touch-up, you're gonna see that cut is gonna be as dark as this black part over here of this frame of this brow. So don't use this one. This one you should use if you're doing microblading for a while and now you found, the right technique to do the strokes, and all your clients are coming back with beautiful strokes, then yes, then you can work with this one. Some clients have like a harder skin, let's say, like a tougher skin, right? So it's easier to do microblading with this one. But to be truthful, I never used this one. I never had a client with such a tough skin that I couldn't do the same job that I could do with this, okay? Okay, so now the video before I told you about this fake skins that you can buy in HYVEBEAUTY, you can buy in Amazon too, but I really like these ones. Especially when you're beginners, so much easier to just spend your day practicing, not worrying about the frames. Not that you don't have to worry about this, yes you do. Like in the videos before, I show you how to practice the frames, so that you still have to do, okay? But if one day you have time just to practice your strokes, these are amazing because the frames are already there and you're just gonna work on your strokes. Okay, so I'm gonna show you one for you guys today. So like the videos of the strokes that I talked about before, you should always start from the tail and come towards the middle of the brow. And these you can choose how high and how low it goes. It depends on your client's brow shape. It depends on what you like, okay? So let's draw one here. I'm gonna go up to here. And on your client, just like on the fake skin, you can draw your strokes too, okay? So you don't lose. So you can start drawing where you want these strokes to go. Remember, always curvy, never too straight. So these will be the main strokes, and then we just come and fill it, right? So I'm doing for you just like when I do on my clients. It doesn't matter if you come from the tail, from here, right? This drawing that we did here to the bottom, you can go from the bottom to the top too, whatever it feels right on your hands. Okay, I'm gonna turn a little bit so I can do the ones here on the end. Okay, so now we're gonna practice with this blade. Maybe this is not gonna look that great because this blade's so used that I don't know. Let's see, the cut may not be that beautiful. Let me just check if I'm in the right position. Remember I told you guys that I always do from the back of my client. So if the brows are here, I'm right in the back. But it all depends on you as well, whatever feel comfortable for you, okay? So remember, on your client, 3-way stretching. Use your little finger, use these ones, stretch that skin really good. Put the blade on the skin, wait for the pigment to drop, and then you cut. Here we are not using pigment because this skin you don't need pigment. You know what, guys? I'm gonna do with this because that blade's so bad. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do. Wait to drop and cut. Wait to drop and cut. And sometimes when you're doing this, what I normally do when I'm doing the stroke, I hold the air, right? I don't breathe. So I can make a nice stroke and don't shake my hands. So we stretch, put the blade, wait for pigment to drop and cut. And the pigment is just a little bit. You can just dip a little bit on the cup. Don't need to be like full of pigment, okay? Just dip a little bit and then you come, touch, wait the pigment to drop and go. Same thing here, always stretching, okay? Try to practice doing the stretch. So when you do on your client, it's gonna just be like if you were doing at home when you were practicing. Always be careful here because you want to make sure you get the nice frame so you don't lose this nice lift on the brows, right? Okay. So you know what? I'm doing another way, but I'm gonna do the easier way for you guys. So the same thing, you're gonna come here and go down. Go on the top and go down. On the top and down. On the top and down. Beautiful. Okay, so this will be, let's say, the first pass on your client. So now, what I do with my clients, that's why I love this tool. This brush is so amazing. I dip the brush on the pigment and I scrub. I scrub everything. And then I put A&D or Vaseline or petroleum jelly just so my pigment doesn't dry. You can cover with plastic if you want, or just leave like that with the pigment and then the Vaseline, okay? And then you go to the other brow. Then when you finish this one, then you clean and you fill in. So let's fill in. And if you're filling in and you see, oh, this stroke has no color there, then you can go again on top of that stroke. Just make sure you stretch, because when you stretch, you can really see if the pigment is inside. If the pigment is not inside, you're gonna put a little more. So you're gonna do the 3H stretching again, and you're gonna go again, okay? But now we're gonna fill in the hair strokes. So you can start from the bottom to the top. You can start near this one that we did here, okay? And then you go all the way. You start from the bottom of this one over here. And go. Okay? Start from the bottom over here. And go. So the same thing all the way. And guys, there's many ways of doing the strokes, okay? Many ways. This I feel is the easiest one to teach and the easiest one to do when you're a beginner, because it doesn't have like too much complicated things. And then, okay, so we did from the bottom to the middle, right? Bottom to the middle, bottom to the middle. Now we're gonna fill in these other spaces over here. So the same thing, you can start from the middle of that first one and go into the top and let it go. From the middle of that one into the top. Same thing here, from the middle to the top. the middle to the top. Okay. And look, I still see some empty spaces, so we can fill in. Done. And this I'm gonna come from the middle of these two and done. Now we're gonna go to the tail. Same thing, you start, now you're gonna start from the top and let it go. From the top, go down and let it go. Here we need to add another one here. Same thing, go from the middle and let it go. You can even fit one more here. Okay, don't fit too much. Like I said, when you're practicing, it looks really nice when you feel with the strokes. But on the clients, actually, normally a client that you're doing microblading, they already have some hair. Some don't. But to be truthful, if I have a client that has no hair, I do not like to do just microblading. I do microblading with shading, right? The combo brows. Because it doesn't look real. For me, for my taste, looks very fake. So, less is always more when you're beginning, okay? Look how many you have. You can practice all day. And these strokes are not hard. So let me just do one more here because I want to make sure you could see what I'm saying. So let's say that is the stroke we did. Let me make two here so you can really see. Let's say these two strokes are from the first pass that you did. Okay, so look what you're gonna do when you fill in. You start from the bottom of this one, near there, and you're gonna go and let it go, okay? If you feel it still fits another stroke over here, the same thing, you start by the middle. You don't need to go on top of that cut. You can go a little bit, you know, towards the front, but close enough. And let it go, okay? So see, so it's pretty much like this, right? You have two, and you're gonna connect these two. You can start from the bottom up to here, and then from the middle up to the top, okay? That's it. But look how amazing this fake skin is. Has no mask because you didn't have to use pigment. Isn't amazing? And then the tail, like I said, you can always do the way you want. If you want to do one that gives more space on the top, you can. See? Now this top over here is going to have more space for the strokes to come down. Or if you don't like when it's like that, then you can go almost towards the top. Okay? Now all the strokes are gonna be longer here, right? So you have to play at home and see how you like them. So let's say, because it's all the way up here, your stroke's gonna have to go all the way there. Okay? So guys, practice at home, enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Bye-bye.